Hi everyone, today we are going to create such a colonnade. Let me switch to its plane. Here it is, the plane and the projections, and here I have the sections. As you can see, the colonnade has an arc projection here. Here it is. It has cross vaults, which are red, and arc projections, which are white. Let me go back to sections. If I project this point here, you can see that we have non-uniform projection. For example, if I draw an ellipse again, oops, not this one, but from here, and for example I'd like to offset it, I will derive this point, which actually does not project to the same place. So I need to consider that in one direction I'll have uniform projection, in the other direction I'll have non-uniform one. So let's try to create one. So I'm in an isometric projection, and I'll start with rectangle here. I should push-pull it to the height of 4040 millimeters, which I know from here. Then I need to measure this size, which is 2060 millimeters. So I'm placing a working plane on top of the extruded rectangle, and pushing it to the top. Accordingly to this drawing, I need to place an arc here and an ellipse here. So let me start with the arc. It's convenient to use the second mode. I'm switching to ellipse tool. In this case, it's useful to go with the center mode. Oh, sorry, I need to place a working plane before. So that's it. And I need just a half of the ellipse. So I'm using split tool in the third position to cut a half. Now I'd like to place two rectangles. Let's start with this projection. Let's use the third mode. Place a rectangle right here. Then, using Command on Mac or Control on Windows, let's enlarge it symmetrically. And since this slab has thickness of, let me measure it actually, it has thickness equals to 300 millimeters. Okay, I need to enlarge the rectangle. Right, so, and then since I'd like to clip it with the arc, I need to send it to back from Modify menu. Let's find the command here, clip surface. Then I'm switching to the side, placing rectangle there. In this case, I'm using the first mode. I'm snapping to the previous one, and again, using Command on Mac or Control on Windows, I scale it symmetrically. Again, I need to send it to back. In this case, I'll be using shortcut, which is Command plus B on Mac, Control plus B on Windows, and I'd like to clip surface. Okay. Then I don't need this one anymore. I'll be using push-pull to make two extrudes here. The first one, I'll cut it to clipboard, and the second one, I'm placing back the previous bolt, and now I have them selected together, and I'll find intersect solids command. Let me use one of these lower isometric views to demonstrate the result. So I have across a bolt here. Actually, I don't need this one anymore. Now let's switch to these arc projections. Let me switch to layer plane and place a rectangle right here. Then I'll go to push-pull to the subface mode. I just want to extrude it. And then I'll find intersect solids again. Okay, let me create a hole right in the center. I'll create a rectangle and extrude it to the height of the bolts, and then I'll use subtract solids operation. And remember, you need to switch between these objects until you find that the object that you want to subtract from is highlighted. So I press OK. That's it. And now let's focus on the bolts itself. I've already placed a working plane here, and I'd like to create an arc again in the same manner. I place one point, the second, and the last one. Then I'd like to create an offset. And here, let me measure the distance of this offset. For this reason, I need to go to layer plane. In this case, it equals to 60 millimeters. I'm switching to offset tool. Here I have the distance. I don't need the duplicate. And I press to the direction I want my offset to be done. I enlarge it a bit, and even I could switch off the solid mode. That's it. And here I need to place an ellipse again. I need to know this distance, 235 millimeters. So let me place a working plane again. And I like to create a rectangle whose height equals to 135 millimeters. Let me double check it. Okay. And here I need to place a point and move it in 3D 60 millimeters up. And switch into ellipse mode. In the first axis I need to snap to this point here. In the other one I need to place my point here where I have this loci. And again I need to half it. I don't need this rectangle, but I'd like to reuse it. And find clip surface and delete the ellipse. Now let me select this shape and go to Move 3D command, which is here in Modify, Move 3D. And here I need to move it to the right, to the left. I switch to Working Plane, to Z offset, because I know that this blue axis stands for positive Z, so I need to go in opposite direction. Okay. And I'm creating an extrusion here. Then let me convert it to polygon. Sorry, no, not to polygon. Let me place a working plane here. What I'd like to do is to create a line. Just like that. And then, with these two objects being selected, I go to Modify and find Combine into Surface command. It doesn't work. Let me pack it to a group. Back to use Trim tool. And then this one, Connect Combine tool in the third mode. And now it's closed. Let me group it with the previous extrusion, just to isolate them from the other objects. Then I'm switching to Push-Pull in the third position, and I'll be using this shape as a cutter. So now I'm having cross-walled again. Actually, I need to cut it a bit from here. I just could use another approach. I could use rectangle. And extrude actually. Let me place this outer extrude to clipboard by Command X or Cut command. And now I could find an intersection of these two solids. And I'm placing back the arcs projection. Then let me alter the color. So that's it. Here we have uniform projection and here non-uniform one. Let me switch off underlay layer. I'd like to multiply these two objects using move by point command with 2 copies. So now I'm selecting 3 outer extrudes and I'd like to unify them. Since I'm using layer plane, I could create a rectangle in this manner and create a little offset. I'd like to extrude it minus 300 mm to create a slab. Then let's create a couple of columns here using this column tool. Let me place it just here, and then I'll switch to plan view, place it in proper position. I know this distance, it equals to 4040 millimeters, so I could change it here. Actually, it uses story bounding. You don't have stories. You need to switch to layer elevation and control the final distance with stop offset. Let me convert it to unstyled, so I'll be able to control the rest of the preferences from here. Let me defer the base diameter as a capital 1. I'm sorry. Now let's populate the columns. I need 1 more copy. So that's it. Let's change the crease angle, and we are ready. That's it. Hey, my name is s.rizen. I'm Vectorworks tutor. I'd like to share my experience with you. Here in this channel I'm collecting my tutorials and exercises. If you'd like to stay tuned in this theme, be sure to subscribe to my channel.